Hi, this is Sari from Coaching Healthy Minds. And if you've just read my post, this is just really for me to give you a little insight into what changed anxiety for me. As you may know from my page or from this post, I suffered with it for such a long time, to the point where I was hospitalised in my mid-20s. And, you know, the only way to describe it was complete hell on earth. So I then went on a mission to try everything, to work out every which way I could to completely get rid of anxiety. I even trained as a psychotherapist, of which I am still a trained psychotherapist. And it was only really after I came across something called the 3 Principles by Sydney Banks that I realised I'd been barking up the wrong tree for so long. And did none of that stuff work? No, that's not what I'm kind of saying. In that therapy, I had my own personal therapy. It really helped. I've had hypnotherapy. I've tried CBT techniques. I have had medication. Literally, you name it, I've had it. And I'm not saying that none of it works, because to a degree it works. But what can often happen with anxiety is that when we're under severe times of stress or we've got stuff going on, it can come back again. And if you're anything like me, you may live with a constant niggling fear that what if it comes back really acutely again, because you don't want to go through that hellish time again. And that's what changed for me. That's the big thing that changed for me, was not being afraid of it coming back. And that's why when you aren't afraid of it, when you aren't frightened, that actually it doesn't show up in the same way. And these 3 principles by Sydney Banks are really now what I use with every single person who is suffering with anxiety, with some fantastic, amazing results. And I don't say that lightly. As I said, I spent many years training as a psychotherapist, but this is something that I believe is the way forward with anxiety, which is why I'm so passionate now about getting it out there to people. It's basically looking at the way our minds work in relation to thought and consciousness. And it kind of, once you start to understand how your mind works, you realise what's going on. And I realised when learning these principles that I'd been making myself ill for so long with the anxiety, because you don't get anxious feelings without anxious thoughts. It's the thoughts that come first. But again, you might be like me and might go through periods where you think it's just a feeling that you have that you just comes, it just happens, you can't do anything about it. And actually, it's not just a feeling that comes, it starts with anxious thinking. So there's loads of resources on the internet. You can go and get books by Sydney Banks. You can Google, look for podcasts with the 3 principles. There's loads out there. But I found it most useful to have a coach when I was learning these principles, because sometimes it's kind of the really simple things that we don't always see, and coaching can really help with that. So that's why now I also coach people, and I try and make it as accessible for people as possible. So I have, first of all, an introductory online 7-day course that I would love to invite any of you to come and join me on. It's currently on offer for an early bird price of £47 instead of £87. You'll get a video from me every day, and you can also send me across that week as many questions as you want. And I will keep, no matter what your worries or concerns are, I will keep pointing you back in the right direction as to that's going to help you become less scared of anxiety. And that in itself is going to make the anxiety disappear. So I hope that helps. If anyone's got any questions, please pop something in the comments, let me know, or send me a private message, again, if you don't want to comment. And, you know, if the anxiety course isn't something for you, do follow my page. I do quite a lot of videos on there, and hopefully you will get the relief that you deserve and you want. Okay, take care.